All right, everyone, what's up? It's time for part two of the WWF magazine video collection from the 1990s. As you know, you've seen part one. That was 1990 through 1994. And today, we hit up with January 1995, and we see King Kong Bundy and the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, along with Jameson and Paul Bear there in the small photo. That's right, King Kong Bundy was back in the WWF in 1994, and he stayed for a year as a part of the $1 Million Man's $1 Million Corporation. Now, February 1995, here's a magazine that I loved as a teenager, and I still love it today. It is Big Daddy Cool Diesel captures the title. That's right, Diesel captures the WWF Championship from Mr. Bob Backlund in November of 94, just a few days after the Survivor Series. March 95, we get Bret Hitman Hart on the cover there, Lonesome Dove the series. But check this out, inside, that's right, there they are, the first 9 cards. These are the first 9. Diesel's number 1, and the ladder match is 2, Bret's 3. So these are the first 9 cards, and they're in that magazine right there. I'm proud to have those just because of the first 9. That's kind of neat to have. April of 1995, it is the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, and Pamela Anderson. They're on the cover there. Of course, Pam Anderson was at the Royal Rumble, and she would be supposedly walking the winner at WrestleMania, but she didn't. She ended up walking the champion down to the ring that night. But that magazine has a special situation here because it did have 2 covers. April 95 also had Lawrence Taylor and Bam Bam Bigelow on the cover as well. Put it there, I guess. So what happened was, I think the LT one was for the United States, and the Shawn and Pam one was for Canada, I think. I could be wrong, but it seems like in the US there's more of the LT one circling around, and Canada has more of the Shawn and Pam Anderson one circling around. May 95, we get Lex Luger and Michael Jordan on the cover. That's kind of a big deal there to see, as far as I'm concerned, the greatest basketball player of all time, Michael Jordan. I don't care about any of the current stars in the last 10, 15 years. Michael Jordan was the greatest, hands down. I just believe that. We get June 95, the day after Sid Snaps and Friends reunite. This, of course, being WrestleMania 11. And I got some cards in this one. So the cards are intact in this one, which is pretty sweet. For July 95, we get the King's Court there, the Knights of the Squared Circle, seeing all the kings on the cover there, including Elvis Presley. Seems a bit odd. I think Elvis was dead already, but hey, whatever. August 95, we get Bret Hitman Hart, the Bad Guy, Razor Ramon, Big Daddy Cool Diesel, and Alundra Blaze. The Boys and Girl of Summer. For September 95, we get Shadowed by a Psycho. Can Shawn straight jacket Sid? If you look close enough, Sid is in the sunglasses there. And this, of course, giving us the exclusive SummerSlam preview for 1995. October 95, Sharpshooting with the Hitman. Bret shoots from the hip in an exclusive candid interview. For November 95, we get The Undertaker and Paul Bear on the cover. Undertaker on a motorcycle, almost foreshadowing the American Badass era of The Undertaker, right? That's kind of neat to see. And this magazine, December 95, I loved having as a teenager too. 2 of my favorites. This time there will be a winner between Bret Hitman Hart, Big Daddy Cool Diesel, talking about the Survivor Series. All right, let's talk about 1995 for a bit. 1995 is a year that a lot of wrestling fans do not like. They say it was a bad year for the WWF. They were not happy with the WWF running on diesel power. They just did not like 1995. And it's understandable. There was a lot of stuff that sucked in 95. There was a lot of horrible characters and gimmicks and such. But there was a lot of great matches. You had Diesel and Brett at the Royal Rumble and Survivor Series. You had Diesel and Shawn at WrestleMania. You had Shawn and Jeff Jarrett at In Your House 2. You had Shawn and Razor at SummerSlam in the ladder match. So when you look at 1995, yeah, there's some crap, but it was actually a decent year. If you don't look back with hate and look back with just nostalgic of maybe what you enjoyed then, you're going to like 1995. I promise you that. And we now go into 1996 and we see a newcomer for the first time on the magazines. It's, remember the name? Goldust. That's right. Goldust is now in the WWF. The former Dustin Rhodes is going to try to do his best to make an impact in the World Wrestling Federation. February 96. I had this magazine too as a teen. It was an amazing one then, still is now. Best there is, best there was, best there ever will be. Absolutely. Bret Hitman Hart is your new WWF champion, defeating Diesel at the Survivor Series. March 1996. The golden-haired fox. That's right, we're talking Sunny. She makes the cover of that one. Sunny, of course, just at that time managing the Body Donnas, Skip and Zip. April 96. Kicking it with the Click. Shawn Michaels and his faithful looking to turn the dreams of a boy into the destiny of a man, talking about WrestleMania 12. But hey, look at that. We got some cards here. I got some cards in this one too. These are all talking about WrestleMania, so that's all right. I'd like to have the cards in all of them. Don't get me wrong, I would, but the odds of doing that probably pretty hard, pretty rare. I'd probably have to buy them like maybe still in the, I think some of these came in a bag, like baggied, so you might have to look for those. I just don't have the time or effort. I figured whatever ones I got, it's an added bonus. May 96, we get an old returning wrestler on the cover. You last saw him, I think, in 1992 on a magazine cover. It's Jake the Snake Roberts. A revelation of epic proportions. Jake the Snake Roberts' triumphant return. That's right, Jake the Snake is now back in the WWF. June 96, we get One Boy's Dream, One Man's Destiny. That's right, WrestleMania 12 results with the new WWF champion, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. For July 1996, another return of a wrestler that we haven't seen since 1992 on a magazine cover. The Ultimate Return, exclusive interview with the Warrior. That's right, Jim Hellwig himself, the Ultimate Warrior, is back in the WWF, coming back at WrestleMania 12 and defeating Hunter Hearst Helmsley in a big match there for his return. August 96, we get a newcomer to the WWF from World Championship Wrestling. No, it's not Johnny B. Bad. It's Wildman Mark Merrow with his beautiful wife, Sable, on the cover there. I think they were trying to portray Mark Merrow and Sable like, kind of like a modern day new generation era of Randy Savage and Elizabeth. And it kind of worked at first, but as we would soon see, Sable would outshine her former husband big time and become the star of that duo. September 96. Oh, this is a great cover. Sunny, Once So True, I Slopped You. Phineas and Henry Godwin slopping Sunny. If anyone knows the story behind that slop, it's pretty gross. I'll do a quick explanation right now. Phineas and Henry brought the bucket into the dressing room, straight out said, tonight we're slopping Sunny, so no one touched this bucket. And when they came back, the bucket was practically full. You can take a guess on what it was practically full of, but I'm guessing that stuff that's going on Sunny there, it isn't all vegetables and milk and water. I can tell you that right now. For October 96, we get Goldust and Mankind. Mommy, the bizarre bond between Goldust and Mankind. For November of 96, we get the biggest turn in the WWF at this time. Rest in pieces. Paul Bearer turns his urn on The Undertaker in a SummerSlam shocker. That's right, Paul Bearer would now manage Mankind instead of The Undertaker. And December 96, Psycho Sid, friend or foe, answer to be determined at Survivor Series. Psycho Sid is back in the World Wrestling Federation once again after the Ultimate Warrior up and left the company. So now what can we say about 1996? At the beginning of the year, it had a lot of 1995 stank on it still, but as it went on, that changed because guys like Razor Ramon, Big Daddy Cool Diesel, the 1-2-3 Kid, the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase, they all up and left and went to World Championship Wrestling. But guys like Mark Merrow, like Mankind, like Stone Cold Steve Austin becoming a bigger name, you saw a lot of WCW talent now in the WWF. Big Van Vader was there. It was interesting to see. 1996 was definitely a changing of the guards kind of year once again with how the landscape of the WWF was headed. But that's all right? We had a lot of good matches in 96. Shawn and the Bulldog had a lot of good matches together. Shawn and Diesel had a good one at Good Friends, Better Enemies. Undertaker and Mankind had a great feud and great matches. So 1996 overall, pretty decent, pretty good. We now go into 1997, January, the Stone Cold Click and other predictions for 1997. Just going to go there with that now. February 97, I did what I had to do, but I lost what I have to have, being Psycho Sid and Shawn Michaels at the Survivor Series. Shawn is no longer WWF champion. Sid is your new champion that night at Madison Square Garden. March 97, we see Ahmed Johnson on the cover. Can one man overcome a nation? Ahmed Johnson faces the challenge of his life, that being, of course, the Nation of Domination, Farouk's group, and there's Wolfie D and JC Ice on the cover, PG-13. April 97, we get a WrestleMania 13 preview. It's called Heat. We see The Undertaker, Bret Hitman Hart, the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels, and Psycho Sid all on the cover there. This is a magazine that goes for big money. People seem to always want to get it or in their collection, probably because of who's on the cover. It's May 97. We get the Bart Foundation. Bret teams with Springfield's favorite son. That's right, Bart Simpson and Bret Hitman Hart on the cover of a WWF magazine. For June of 97, we get The Undertaker. The dark days are upon us. The Undertaker captures the Federation Gold. That's right, Undertaker becomes WWF champion at WrestleMania 13. In July 1997, we see the return of a tag team we haven't seen since 1992 in the WWF. What a rush. It's Doomsday for the tag team ranks as Animal and Hawk make their triumphant return. That's right, the Legion of Doom are back in the World Wrestling Federation, and they were ready to win the tag team titles. It just took them a while to get there, but they did finally do it as the year went on. August 97, we get Heart and Soul. Bret Hart and The Undertaker, that of course talking about SummerSlam 97 that year, the main event for the championship. September 97, we get Mark Merrow and Sable. Trouble in the Jungle. Is Sable looking to leave the Wild Man behind? And some cards. Some more cards there. We got Sunny, Marlena, and Sable. So that would be the women, I suppose, in that one. October 97, we get Ow, Have Mercy, the hippest cat in the land. Dude Love struts into the Federation. Mick Foley, not only wrestling as Mankind, now wrestling as Dude Love in the WWF. November 97. Why Shawn Why? Vic Venom's theory on the Michaels Hart conspiracy. Shawn Michaels turned bad once again on Monday Night Raw, hitting The Undertaker in the head with the steel chair, tagging with Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Shawn, what is going on, man? December 97, the Harts declare war on Michaels. We see Bret, Owen, Bulldog, and Diana there on the cover. That, of course, being in England at one night only for that pay-per-view that we were lucky to see in Canada. It did air on pay-per-view for us in Canada, so I did get to see that live when it happened. And Shawn Michaels became the new WWF European Champion. All right, 1997. First of all, that December 97 magazine, that is a Canada exclusive magazine cover. The American one has Stone Cold Steve Austin on the cover with Owen Hart's head on the mantle like a deer head. And one day I'll get that to add to the collection, but I'm lucky to have this one, the Canada one. I think the Canada one looks cooler. I like these guys more anyways because, you know, they're Canadian. Well, for the most part, Bulldog, not really. He's Canadian by default, but 1997 was a unique year. It was definitely the foreshadowing of the Attitude Era. A lot of cool stuff happened. When you look back at the 1997 year of WWF from pay-per-view to Raw, a lot of cool matches, a lot of cool storylines, a lot of cool angles, a lot of big feuds. The Steve Austin, Bret Hart stuff was great. The Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart stuff. Shawn Michaels, Steve Austin tag team. Mankind becoming a good guy, feuding with Triple H in the summer of 97. Shawn becoming a bad guy and forming D-Generation X as the year ended. It was just a fun year, and you could see where 1998 was headed with 1997 for sure being, they changed the ring ropes to all red. So you can tell a new style of WWF was coming. That brings us to 1998. January of 98, DX, you make the rules, we'll break them. There they are, Shawn Michaels and Hunter Hearst Helmsley. An early glimpse of what DX is there. Hunter's still kind of like the blue blood, though, so as time went on, that would change. February 98, we have Royal Rumble. Pain, just a four-letter word. Stone Cold Steve Austin was looking to win that year to go into WrestleMania and fight for the championship. March of 98, we get the Big Red Machine, Kane and Paul Bear on the cover. Welcome to Hell. Paul Bear unleashes Kane's Inferno on The Undertaker. Check out the WWF logo. It's fire because of Kane. That's kind of neat to see. And April of 98, we get only in America, Shawn Michaels, Steve Austin, and Mike Tyson clash at WrestleMania 14. And the WWF logo there is steel. And that is going to be the last time we see that logo because May of 1998, we get The Undertaker, The Truth Shall Set You Free, or Will It Destroy Paul Bear and Kane, but we also get the Scratch logo. We are now into the Attitude Era for sure with the magazine cover with the Scratch logo. That, of course, is a program that's $5, but, of course, the programs and the magazines are exactly the same. So I'll probably one day going to get the magazine with the barcodes just because I'm sure I'll do it one day. But for right now, that's good enough. June 98, Stone Cold champion. That's right. Stone Cold Steve Austin wins the WWF Championship at WrestleMania 14. July 98, we get DX declares war. There they are. D-Generation X is now Triple H, X-Pac, the New Age Outlaws in China as a super group of good guys. That's right. They're baby faces. The fans were into them. They loved them. And no more heel ways for the DX group. August 98, we get Sable and Mark Merrill on the cover there. It says Breakout. And that's exactly what Sable did. She broke out of the shadow of Mark Merrill and became her own star. September 98, Stay Out of My Zone. Ken Shamrock dominates his domain. What an interesting cover there of Shamrock's face. It's kind of scary, really. October 98, The Kid is back in town, but what's his agenda? That's right, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, back on WWF television as a commentator on Monday Night Raw, playing the good guy. I don't know what was going on there. I guess he was just having fun. He probably felt his career was over. I think we all thought that at the time. He didn't return until 2002, but I think a lot of that had to do with the drug intake he was probably doing as well, unfortunately. November 98, we get a newcomer on the magazine cover here. Someone we haven't seen before, Val Venus. Hello, ladies. Val Venus serves it up to the girls at Scores. And we get some more newcomers here in December 98. Send Out the Clowns. Do the oddities know what they're getting into with the Insane Clown Posse? 1998, there it is. All right, let's talk a little bit about 1998. A very fun year. However, if you have old WWE DVDs that came out from like 2004, 5, 6, 7, 8, you probably didn't like the Attitude Era because it was edited to shit. They would blur out that scratch logo everywhere. The scratch logo was on every turnbuckle. So if you say you watch WrestleMania 15 or 16 or 17 or 18, it's just blurred to shit. Like, it's not enjoyable to watch. And it sucks that it took so long for them to fix that. So if you can, if you have older videos of those, shows like on VHS or perhaps original DVD releases, keep them because, they're unedited. So that's a good thing. 98 saw Stone Cold Steve Austin emerge as the top star. It saw The Rock move up, become a champion as well near the end of the year. Mankind broke out as a main eventer. Kane and The Undertaker did their thing. A lot of newcomers like Edge, Gangrel, Val Venus, Christian, the Hardys. It was just a really fun time in the WWF was 1998. We now go to 1999, January. The Rock, the People's Magazine. There he is, The Rock with the sideburns. The Rock was one of the biggest stars at this time, and for good reason. February 99, we get Straight Jacket Required with Al Snow, Mankind, and Head on the cover there. For March 99, we get Yo, Mrs. Foley, He Did It. That's right, Mick Foley, Mankind himself, became the new WWF World Champion, defeating The Rock on Monday Night Raw, January 4th, 1999. Of course, it was taped a week earlier, but still, that pop with the fans had when Stone Cold Steve Austin's music hit and he came out, clubbed The Rock in the head with the chair, threw Mick on top of Rock, and we had a 3 count and a new champ. If the pop for Austin was loud and the fans were still up high, when Mick pinned him, that loudness went even higher. I don't even know how that happened, but it was an amazing moment on TV. April 99, will it take a degenerate to tame the rattlesnake? Triple H zeroes in on Austin. Looks like they're foreshadowing Hunter's heel turn coming up. May 99, we get Fate is in His Hands with The Big Show. But that's not all, because this is a dual magazine cover. Fate is in His Hands. We see the Big Show's hand on Stone Cold Steve Austin. So they just kind of switched it up there, see? So that's neat. Kind of cool for collectors. June 99, I Am Who I Am, When Fiction Becomes Reality, that being The Undertaker there, the dead man, now kind of being like a cult leader at the time in the Ministry of Darkness. July 99, we get The Rock on the cover as usual. Rock, of course, a big deal here, like I said. August 99, 3 guys we haven't seen on the cover yet, but here they are, fangin' and bangin'. The mystery known as The Brood. September 99, Dog Days of Summer. We get the Road Dogg, Jesse James on the cover of that one. That's a cool looking cover. I don't know, for some reason that cover there just represents the late 90s perfectly. I don't know why or how, it just somehow does it. October 99, Unusual Suspect, What Is Hardcore Holly Smokin'? Of course, Hardcore Holly really believed he was, 7 feet tall and 400 pounds. Not even close, Bob, not even close. November 99, we get Assitude. But seriously, Mr. Ass, that's right. Badass Billy Gunn now on the cover there. And December of 99, we get St. Mick Says Goodwill to All Mankind. Mankind in the Santa Claus garb for closing out 1999. I had that magazine as a teen. I do remember buying that one at a variety store in my town. Wow, 1999. What can we say about it? Well, 1999 had some good moments, but it had one tragic, sad moment in the death of Owen Hart. That was something that kind of shook the WWF in 1999. And of course, if it couldn't get any worse, in late 1999, Darren Drozdoff took the running power bomb from D'Lo Brown in a way that he wasn't supposed to, and came straight down on his head, broke his neck, and was paralyzed. So for things being so good in 1999 for the World Wrestling Federation, two drastic things there, two tragic things definitely happened. And I just don't want to overlook that. 1999 was a cool year for a lot of cool things. You had Hunter's heel turn at WrestleMania, him winning the title the night after SummerSlam. You had Chris Jericho debuting in the WWF. You had all this cool stuff, but unfortunately you had two tragic moments in the WWF ring. And now we go to the year 2000. That's right, 200. We made it. January, we get Kane's Burning Desire on the cover of that one. For February 2000, we get the return of the group D-Generation X as heels this time. Wise guys, DX makes the Federation an offer it can't refuse. So what happened was, in late 99, DX reformed as villains, and they went into 2000 as like the heel group at the time, kind of like a Four Horsemen, NWO, whatever you want to call it. They were the group at the time as villains. March 2000, inside the mind of the Rattlesnake, Stone Cold Steve Austin makes the cover there. April 2000, we get Too Fat, Rikishi, Scotty Too Hottie, and Grandmaster Sexay Too Cool on the cover of that one. May 2000, we get the Mouth That Roars. We're talking Y2J himself, Chris Jericho. June 2000, Rock in a Hard Place. The Rock makes the cover once again of a WWF magazine. July 2000, we see a newcomer we haven't seen yet, and he's finally on the cover. It is Integrity's Kurt Angle ranks the superstars. Kurt Angle, an Olympic gold medalist, now in the WWF, and he was European and Intercontinental Champion at the same time. Ended up winning King of the Ring and the WWF Championship by the year's end of 2000. August 2000, we get China's Secret. China makes the cover of that issue. September 2000, I had this magazine as a teen, and here it is, picture perfect, Edge and Christian. For October 2000, we get The Undertaker on the cover, the American Badass taking a ride. That's right, Undertaker's back now as a biker. That's his gimmick and his character, and it worked for the Attitude Era. It really did. November 2000, Triple H Unleashed. We get Hunter Hearst Helmsley on the cover with his sledgehammer. And December 2000, Electrifying Lita. Lita makes the cover, of course. First time for Lita. She's the manager of Matt and Jeff, the Hardy Boys. So there is 2000, the complete year of 2000. 2000, of course, a year that was very unique for the World Wrestling Federation. We saw the debut of the Radicals. Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero, Dean Malenko, and Perry Saturn. They came into the company that year. We saw Kurt Angle, like I said, win the WWF title in 2000. We saw Edge and Christian and the Dudley Boys and the Hardy Boys have some epic matches, including a ladder match at WrestleMania 2000 and, of course, the TLC match at SummerSlam 2000. 2000 was just a fun year for the WWF, and they were so far above WCW at the time, there was no turning back. The WWF was just going full out, and it would keep going into 2001. I only have like 6 or 7 magazines of 2001 right now, so I'm not going to go into that. I thought I would just go up to 2000 because I have them all. And I think that's what I want to say here. I think that's a good way to stop, because I feel like 2001 things did change. WWF purchased WCW. Just a lot of it felt different after that when you saw guys showing up like Lance Storm or Mike Awesome or Booker T or Diamond Dallas Page. It just felt like a different WWF at that time. So I feel like this is a good place to stop for magazine covers for the WWF for the time being. If I get all of 2001 and 2002 and such, I will show that later on down the road. I probably will. I don't see why I wouldn't. It's just trying to find them at good prices or just find them in general. That's the tough one. I still want to show off the Monday Night Raw magazines, the WWF Raw magazines from 1996 through 2000, but I'm still missing a few. So once I get them, I can do that in a video on its own. So today's video, 1995 through 2000, we saw a lot of changes from the new generation to the Attitude Era, from the likes of Big Daddy Cool Diesel, Razor Ramon, and Bret Hitman Hart, to the likes of Chris Jericho, The Rock, and Stone Cold Steve Austin. It was a different time and different place within those few years. The transition was rocky at best, no pun intended for The Rock, but it worked. It worked. And it was a fun era to watch the WWF. So out there, what is your favorite year of these? What was your favorite magazine? What was your favorite time period? Just let me know in the comments. For me, I love 1995. I really do. I think 95 is a great year. That was a year I loved them. I was a Diesel fan, so that couldn't be a bad year for me. It did no wrong to see Diesel as champ for the year. I also enjoyed 97 a lot, and I enjoyed 98. And I enjoyed them all, but those were my favorites. If I had to pick favorites, 95, 97, 98 would definitely be the top three. My least favorite would probably be 99, maybe, just because I didn't like when Triple H turned on DX. That really pissed me off. I was such a DX fan. And when Hunter turned at WrestleMania 15 and pedigreed X-Pac, that broke my heart. Damn you, Hunter. But yeah, so there we go. This was part 2 of the WWF magazine covers from the 90s. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the part 1 as well, and I hope you watched it. And until I do my next one, guys, I'll talk to you later.